Yeah, it's coffee and, well, we can't say that, but we'll talk about that later.
Can't say what? The other part?
Yeah, the other part.
Coffee and a boomstick.
Yeah, boomstick. Okay, there we
say
go.
boomstick?
Yeah, I don't know. You never know.
Thanks, you do.
Yeah, right.
No, neither of us have coffee. We
don't.
have
Yeah,
these.
you know, in Hawaii we couldn't get Mountain Dew Code Red. It was rare. In fact, there was only a few times where you could actually get it. And I'm not much of a pop drinker, but it's pretty good stuff. Although I like sarsaparilla, as I think they know.
Pop?
Soda pop, whatever.
Okay.
Okay.
Colloquialisms. So, you know what? Talking about Hawaii.
Yeah.
So, everybody knows you moved out from Hawaii to Arizona. You took a big risk in your life.
I did.
Huge risk. And you didn't have a job. You kind of had a place to live. You did have a place to live.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have a lot of money. You didn't know if I was like, a serial killer.
True.
Which I'm only a serial killer during the week, not on the weekends.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't go into that closet right there.
Silly. They're in the drawers of the cabinets.
Oh, okay.
We'll never put them in the closet. That's the first place you look.
What about under this?
Amateur. Okay. So anyway, so you move out here. Big deal. Kind of scared. Moving away from mom, moving away from a job, moving away from an island that you can't stand. But you moved out here and you got a job.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't turn out to be too bad.
No.
You got a nice apartment.
I tolerate you.
You tolerate. You've had some really good steaks. So why not tell me, how do you feel about all that? I mean, how do you actually feel? You think you're going to stay, or have I driven you out yet?
No. I mean, I can't lie that, do I miss home? Yeah. Do I miss my family? Yeah. Do I miss my friends? Absolutely. But yeah, it was like a big, just like totally just take my whole life and just throw it into the wind and see what happens. That's what it was like for me. But in a way, I knew I had to go. I had to do something that was going to be different, because it was like a rut that I was living in. Even though it was a comfortable rut, I was very comfortable. I could afford things and.
But you were living in Kona.
Yeah.
Rut was the name of the town?
No, a rut, like you're spinning your wheels.
Oh, those critters.
No, like a mouse. I do have pet mice.
Okay, we'll get back to that. But anyway, continue on.
But yeah, so I knew I had to do something different. I know a lot of you have been following my vlog channel and doing those. Just got kind of left in the dark a little bit about my move, and I know I kept it out of the vlogs. It was kind of more of a surprise. I wanted to just pop up on his channel, and you did a really good video on that, by the way. That our first video where we were at the old Tucson, and that was really great.
He's a natural, folks. He didn't need any direction at all.
But that was a really good video. I liked it, and it was. You helped me get here and not feel so alone out here. But it was. I didn't know what to expect. Honestly, for work, I was getting kind of hitting a little slump, because I was feeling like, because I had applied at a lot of places, and I was like, man, I wasn't getting anywhere. I wasn't even getting like, hey, you want to sit down and talk for a minute? No, none of that. It was like,
that was surprising to me, because I just assumed, you tell me, oh my gosh, this place is hiring.
Yeah,
Give me my resume. They haven't called me. How would you think they'd call you? I mean, you just worked in a gun store in Hawaii, where the gun laws are probably 20 times stricter than they are here.
Oh yeah.
Why would they not want you, just due to the fact that you had to be so strict? Wouldn't they want somebody that's totally by the books? I guess everybody has to be by the books.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that you would want to bring somebody on board that already is familiar with the territory, instead of just like, oh, here, let's bring on this guy. We got to teach him everything. Where I already have an idea of how it works. So, but I guess that wasn't the case. But yeah, literally, I walked in the shops where big sign on the door, we're hiring for our counter, and I would go in and be like, hey, I dropped off an application like 3 weeks ago. I see that you're hiring. Nothing.
It does seem a little odd.
Yeah.
But this one place worked out, and whether or not
it did. It did work out.
It did work out. And you got a gun range out of it, too.
Yeah, that was an interesting thing because for like a while in living in Hawaii, I was like, I want to work in an indoor gun range. I always thought that would be just such an interesting, neat job. And walking, hanging out with Dirty Dan, and then he was like, "Hey, you told me about the place." Then I related to Dan. Dan's like, "Yeah, I know that place." We were riding around
on horseback.
Yeah, riding around on horseback.
Because out here we don't have vehicles, just stagecoaches and horses, right?
Just like in Hawaii, we all live in grass huts.
I knew it. I knew it. Somebody owes me $10 somewhere.
And we don't have running water.
No.
So.
And you all wear coconut shells on your chests.
Yeah, well, not all of us.
Awkward.
No, but yeah, going in there, talking to the guy, and I was immediately offered an application, which I took it home and filled it out. And now, mind you, I was a little like gun shy, if you would, pardon the pun, because I had already been turned down from so many jobs.
Right.
So I was kind of like, I don't know. But I did it anyway. I filled it out, went in the next day, turned it in, and when I went to go and hand it in, the guy came out and talked to me. And we went in the back into the interview room, and he basically gave me an interview right there. And I was really like, wow, I can't believe this. Like, so I wasn't even expecting that. So they had me come back the following Monday, because this took place over a weekend. And then I talked to this other manager, and literally hours after that, I got the job.
That's cool. It's really cool.
I got to do things out here that I didn't think I would ever get to do in life.
Right.
Like being a stage gunfight show.
Right.
With you.
So here's the funny thing.
We said gunfight. I don't know if we can say that.
I don't think you can either. Boomstick War?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. We said boomstick already. We don't know about that one yet. Pop
show. Being a cowboy.
Yeah. So the funny thing is that, here you are shooting live ammunition over on an island, and we get you over here. The first thing you shoot out here is
blanks.
It's kind of funny. So how do you actually, let's say that, okay, so let's a little background. When I was talking to BATJAC months and months ago, probably almost a year ago at this point, he was talking about making this move, and I said, listen, I did it too. I moved out from New York City to here, didn't have a job, had a place to live, just like him. It was the same thing. Now, granted, I was 5 years older than you when I did it, but it's just one of those things. It's like, hey, you know what? And this is what I told you. If I don't like it, if I get out to Tucson and I don't get a job and I become poor or something and I don't like it, I'll just go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But I won't go back to New York City. Just because I did that. I did the New York City. And I sort of expected, worst case scenario, you didn't like it here, you just go somewhere else. Go to Colorado, go to Montana, go to California. Well, not California, that's, yeah.
Sorry, folks that live in California.
Yeah, just, because of the gun laws and everything. New Mexico, Texas, whatever. You'd go somewhere else and you'd find that happiness. But what about some of the other people? Now that you know what I know, now that you felt it, let's say there's somebody watching this video right now who's saying, gosh, I want to move out of where I live. I feel like I'm stuck in this place. I want to move out. I want to go somewhere else. And I just don't know if it's the right thing to do. What would you tell them?
Actually, it's interesting you brought that up because being in Hawaii and how restrictive it was for the guns, it was taking away my drive for it. Like I didn't like, it was like, I was not interested in it as much as I was because it just all the restrictions, all the stuff you had to do to get them, just all the hurdles. And I was like getting kind of to a point where I was like, I don't really want to buy it. I was looking for other things to do. And so I came out here trying to better things and try to say, you know what, I need to change the scenery. And so far, I must say, I don't regret a single thing. It's been fun. It's been interesting. I got a job now, and it may seem for me, it may seem like the time that when you make the move, like the 2 months or 3 months that it was like going by, it seemed like forever to me. Like it was seeming like man, you know, it just like it doesn't seem like I've only been out here for like, you know, 4 months or whatever. It seems like I've been here like 2 years. But I was getting kind of like, you know, just kind of feeling like a little like maybe this might not work out because I was not getting a job. But in reality, it hadn't been very long, and I wasn't really pounding the pavement. I mean, yes, I was just kind of dropping off a resume and app and
You
stuff.
weren't really following up.
No, I really wasn't. I was just kind of going, hey, my name is, you know, BATJAC J.W. Here's my resume, you know, kind of a thing. So, and, you know, of course, you were helping me out, too, by putting a good word in for me and on the shops that you knew.
Yeah, the trouble is nobody likes me, so it's really not very helpful for you. Sorry about that. What do you want? Well, I want to give a good word. Shut up. Click.
Yeah. And, you know, what's funny is that kind of really happened, only in a sense.
Kind of, yeah. Let's not talk about that, though. No, I'm kidding. It didn't really happen that way. But
no, but...
So, you know, it's interesting you say that, because do you ever see the movie Bite the Bullet?
Mm-mm.
You haven't seen Bite the Bullet?
No.
Have you seen Bite the Bullet? Okay, so...
I haven't seen the villain until I met you.
Okay, Jan Michael Vincent, Gene Hackman, and about 75 other famous actors do this movie... Wait, hold on. This movie about this race, this endurance race across America for a certain amount of money. Not across America, I think it's the Western states. And it's all about who gets there first, right? Takes place in sort of the waning West, so probably early 1900s, late 1800s. And it's really good, but it's called Bite the Bullet because I think at one point, if I remember, somebody gets really hurt and they have to fix them, like shot with a bullet or something like that. And they make them bite down on a bullet while they're like stitching them up or something or pulling the bullet out. But that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. However, the bite the bullet idea is something that my folks always said, you know, just bite the bullet and do it. And my brother said that to me when I moved out here. He said, look, you don't get a job, you'll get something. You can flip hamburgers, you'll get something.
Yeah.
You know, you can go back into the pornography industry if you, oops. Oh, yeah, not back into, I mean, I never did that. I was just a, yeah. Anyway,
okay.
So, but just bite the bullet and go. And so you had friends who said the same thing. They were all supportive of you, right?
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
Cody and your two friends who cook you food all the time. Didn't they all say, and Scott, the guy with the big beard, right? Didn't they all say, go find your happiness, go find your...
Yeah.
Go bite the bullet and jump in with both feet?
My buddy Kavika, he's also known as kind of like just the big brother guy because he's literally just a massive guy. But he did it. He lived in Hilo, which is the...
Is that near Rut?
Yeah, near Rut.
Okay.
It's another Rut. But he just, one day he literally, he came up to me and just was like, I'm moving. I'm like, what? Where are you going? And he just was like, I'm going, here. And I'm like, so you're just going to Seattle? And he said, yep. And I'm like, well, 2 weeks later, he's calling me up. He's like, hey, this is my last weekend. I want to hang out with you. And I'm like, this literally was just happening like bang, bang. Long story short, the fact that his message was like, I don't want to get old and still be here doing the same thing, which is not much. And he's wanted to do more with his life. And that kind of hit me real, deep because that's the way I felt was like, I didn't want to, still be there and get old and older and just be like, I should have gone, and,
right.
Or, one day I'm going to go. And
well, you always preach that too. You always preach in your videos that life is short and you got to live it.
Yeah. So I did.
But you were held back by your own fears.
Yes, I was.
And I think so was I. I think most people are held back because they just don't, I think it's a fear of what's going to happen if I don't like it. But the truth of the matter is you just do something else then.
You got to step outside that comfort zone.
Right. You don't go back. You go, keep going forward. You find something else. You become a drifter. Like Clint Eastwood.
Yeah. And paint the town red.
Yeah. No, my mule don't like being laughed at.
Get this crazy idea, you're laughing at him.
So if you all apologize, like I
know you're going to do.
It might convince him that you
weren't laughing at him.
Really didn't mean it. If it was a John Wayne quote, he'd have it.
Maybe.
Sorry, this is unofficial, right? That's why we have to keep hitting the lights and everything.
It is what it is.
Yeah. So, you're happy you made the move so far?
Yeah. I'm getting to do things that in life that I wasn't able to do and would not be able to do in Hawaii. Yeah. It's like my job. I mean, where else am I going to get to go to work and shoot guns, see guns, watch guns being fired, help people with, hey, their gun jammed, double feed, something like that. Go out there, check it out. And it's really comforting to just be like, hey, you can clear it and check it, and there it is. Customers back up and shooting. It's like the know-how to do that. And we also manufacture ammunition there. So that's really cool to get paid to manufacture ammo for the place and kind of do that. And literally from making it to boxing it up and putting it in a case, and getting it to go. I mean, this is all stuff
it's different for sure, right?
I mean, one of the first things I did just to do it was I bought a 33 round magazine for a handgun.
I remember, yeah. You were so excited about that.
I know.
No, you saw it.
Yeah, I didn't want to, you can't do that in Hawaii, in a state like that. In fact, I just ordered a Magpul Glock mag for the Glock 19. It's 15 rounds, and it was $12. I just was like, you know what, I gotta order that. I gotta have one. I always wanted one, but you can't get it in Hawaii because it's over 10 rounds. But no problem. Boom, it's on its way to my door.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, that right there is wow. That's powder, primers for reloading. Like we just saw in the other video that I just posted. We were right at Sportsman's Warehouse. We just went and bought it. You just go and get it like that.
Oh, on the way to Sportsman's Warehouse, we stopped by Best Buy, and I made him look at a modem router combo. I know that he says that to you guys all the time about how he doesn't have the internet yet. Well, it's like $90 for a modem router combo.
Okay, yeah.
So, just, work about 10 more hours and you'll be okay.
Yeah. I will
then you can have the internet.
Then I got to get them to set it up. And
you're making them all feel like Tucson, Arizona is like really the Old West. And of course, I did mention Dan rides a horse, so yeah. So, but no, we have vehicles and we have paved streets and electricity out here, so we're okay. And lots of whiskey.
Yeah. 4 roses.
We had 4 roses a little while ago.
Yeah, we were doing
3's not enough.
Some skits. That's going to be interesting when they pop up, and Mr. Magic Director here puts them together.
What?
You do some pretty good work. Don't be shy about that. I'm not gonna lie. This guy, I'm there. I do the skit, but then in the end, when you do the editing and you splice things together, that's where the magic happens.
Sometimes, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I think the magic is really the actor. So, I mean, you making up what you want to make. See, that's interesting that you guys are watching this. Everybody keeps calling me a director. I'm not really a director. I'm really just an actor that has a camera in his hand. But I tell these guys, because I know how they're going to work, I say, look, here's the idea. There's no real lines except for this one line. You got to say that one line. Anything else you can say. And they just improv. And I think that's the mark of a good actor, is it's somebody who can just take the reins and not figure out. They can figure out what they're doing without actually having to be told everything. So he just comes up with these ideas, and next thing you know, he's trying to crack you up because he's doing something that you never thought he was going to do.
I like you saying that. I really liked. I think Dan he's just got it, man. There was that video. I don't know if you guys seen it on your channel. That's the Arizona Ghost Riders. Where we were talking about it, I came walking up to the ramp and I said, Santee, I want to talk about my contract. And Dan pops up in the picture, and Dan he's just being this massive, entity. He's just like grabs me, pulls me aside. He goes, I want to talk about my contract. And he did that on his own. We did not direct that.
He did, and you know what? I didn't want to even do it again after that because it was so good.
He really.
The same thing I feel about a lot of these things. And then you guys say, well, let's do it again. I'm like, I don't really want to because it was so organic. God, I hate using that word. Dan, I'm sorry, Dan. I didn't mean to use the word organic.
No, but he when we were doing that thing at Harker's, when we were doing the before that, talking about my contract, like when he was like, I'm like, hey, I got to renegotiate my contract. Dan's like, wait a minute, you got a contract? I mean, his face, his expressions, man, you're almost like, is he acting or is he just...
Yeah, Dan's is good.
He is.
He's good. You know, it's funny, too, because Arizona Red, who you haven't met yet, is very similar. They both have that really tough look where you just sort of wither. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no.
I remember a long time ago when I first started doing reenacting, and I didn't know Dan at the time, Arizona Red, who you're going to meet, we were doing this competition show, and he was Luke Short, and I think it was Billy Claiborne. I don't remember if those. Anyway, he had to throw me out of this bar, and then we get into a gunfight, and he kills me. So we were so ad-libbing, and because there was stuff, we weren't actually talking. We were silent, and there was a track of people talking over us, a narration, as it were. And all I knew was that I had to make him mad, and I didn't know him at the time. So I said something to him, and I said, so you think you're so tough, and look at you, you even got a stupid little mustache. I saw the veil of red come over his eyes, and he changed from happy-go-lucky Steve to the Dan you saw in that. And I was scared. I mean, I was like, oh, I don't know this guy very well. What did I do? He, grabbed the back of my shirt and my shoulder, and he threw me out of the bar. I mean, literally, I was in the air. And, so they're both scary guys is what I'm trying to say. Dan would do the same thing, only Dan would only need one hand to throw me out the door.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I don't know, how it reads. Dan, we're not trying to say anything bad about you, but Dan is a really big guy. He's also, what is he,
6'4" or something like that?
Yeah, he's super tall. So, and he's like a bear. So when that skit, when I'm walking up going, Santee, I want to talk about my contract, when he just grabs me, it's like, you're like, what? I mean, he's not even trying either. It's just kind of like, he's just kind of like, doing one of these, but you're like, well, he's like, I want to talk about my contract.
Yeah. Yeah. So, tough guy.
But before we get out of here, we did want to talk about something, and I guess I didn't say anything about it, but it's about the YouTube. What is it? Their policies, advertiser friendly stuff, which has been kind of a pain, because now for people that create videos like myself and you, and I don't think some people, not everybody, realize how much work goes into this stuff, how much time we allocate towards it, how much, how many hours you spend on their editing things, and we put in some work, put in some money, time and effort. There's a lot of it, and in return, a lot of us, we get a little bit of revenue from the advertisements that they run. Sometimes there'll be an ad before the video or whatever, but that's what kind of gives us a little change back. And it is what it really means is AdSense. There's not a lot of money there, but there's just enough sometimes that it helps at the end of the month. It helps cover some costs of the channel or whatever. YouTube has recently removed that from gun channels. So like my main channel, BATJAC J.W, has not been receiving any kind of benefits of AdSense at the end of the month no more, because YouTube is now reworking or rerouting a lot of this stuff. And if you go into the contracts and stuff, it doesn't talk about guns being that. It talks about everything else.
But advertisers are afraid.
Yeah.
Because some of the gun channels have been linked with really bad stuff.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So just like everything else in the gun world, we're always linked to, the good people are linked to whatever bad things happen. So,
that is true.
And the advertisers don't want to be associated with that because they think that, if you have a gun channel about how to defend your home with a 12 gauge pump shotgun and you do some sort of a reenactment, and there's a Pampers commercial on there.
Yeah, right.
It may set a bad precedent. So I'm not saying they're right. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying that
that's what's happening.
This is what's happening. Yeah.
So, what the future of my channel and what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it out and see what happens. I enjoy doing this stuff. I enjoy it. I'm just absolutely blown away by the amount of subscribers and views that the channel gets. So that being that, the main channel is definitely taken off further than I ever thought it would. And of course, I got this channel right here, and of course, I got you into it.
Yeah, right.
You started doing the YouTube thing, and I think your channel's done great.
So far, it's doing pretty good.
Yeah.
And I hope that if it's okay with you guys, I'll still use him in my videos.
Oh,
but I won't keep him from doing his own videos.
We're trying to stir a scene. So yeah, those of you watching this for BATJAC J.W., content may slow down a bit, but it'll still be there.
He's going to wait it out and see.
Yeah, we're going to see what happens.
He's not going to quit or anything.
Yeah, I'm not going away or anything, but I'm here. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in to Coffee and a... That's why we can't say that, because we don't know what they're screening out. But we can definitely say inflatable.